Hello, everyone. So today's lesson is all about not giving our power away to money. Okay. So what do I mean by this? Like, so often we give our power away to things outside of us. So we make ourselves conditional based on what's happening around us. So if things are going well, we're really happy and we're loving it and life is amazing. And when things are pretty bad and they're a bit shit, then we're miserable and we're unhappy and we're frustrated. So this is how we give our power away, because we are choosing in that moment to let outside circumstances dictate how we are going to feel and experience life on a daily basis. Now, why would we do that? Because the things outside of us don't give us the emotion. We make the choice to feel it. We choose to respond in that way. And it's the thoughts that we have that lead us to those emotions. So if we change our thoughts, we don't have to respond like that. And we can feel however we want, regardless of what's happening. So just to give you some examples of this, I wanted to hit seven figures in my business. Why did I want to hit seven figures in my business? Because it would make me feel like a success. Then I'd be really happy. Then I'd be able to do X, Y, Z. Then I'd be really proud of myself, and then I'd feel accomplished. So do you see how I'm allowing myself to feel those things based on a goal that I'm trying to achieve in the future? Now, why can't I feel those things now? It's like saying, money, I'm going to wait until I am a millionaire, or I earn an extra 10K a month, or I earn an extra 3K a month before I will be happy, before I will be able to go on a holiday, before I'll be able to do any fun things. So for quite a long time, I was in hustle mode and not flow mode as well. And I speak about this a lot in the other group. And all of this time, I was waiting until I made it. You know, we never make it, we're already making it. There is no made it, there is nowhere to go. Life isn't this destination to get to somewhere. It's about living in the moment and enjoying our lives, right? But for a good couple of years, I was head down, focused. I wouldn't let myself have any fun, no social life. I was willing to sacrifice everything to reach my goal. And that's not how I reached it. That did not help me in the slightest. In fact, that took everything away from me, repelled it, and made my situation so much worse. But all the time, I was ingraining into myself that it became such a bad habit, an unconscious habit, that I wouldn't go out, I wouldn't have fun, I wouldn't do all these things. I was waiting till I hit my goal before I would do these things. Now, that doesn't sound like a good way to live life, does it? Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting for things before we allow ourselves to feel a certain way, before we allow ourselves to do a certain thing? Yeah, okay, we can't go and spend 10 grand on a holiday if we're not earning enough to spend 10 grand on a holiday. Maybe we have to go camping for a weekend. Maybe we have to, I say that I love camping. We go three, 4 times a year. We just absolutely love it. But, it's a low cost holiday. So you could do that instead, or you could hire an apartment for a weekend. You could just go somewhere locally to you, maybe an hour away, 2 hours away. You can still do the thing that would give you the feelings. So if you wanted to get away, you wanted to relax, you wanted to have fun, you wanted to go on an adventure, you could still do all those things, just not to the extent that perhaps you want to, but you can still do them. So why do we hold ourselves off from doing any of these things that we want? Going to the spa for a day. If you're not in the situation where you could go to a spa for a day, what could you do that's a stepping stone? Just go get your nails done. Maybe buy a machine and do your own nails. You can still have the thing. It just comes in a different way, right? But we end up cutting ourselves off. And so we're basically making ourselves conditional, and we live conditionally, saying, when I have this, when I do this, when I am this, that's when I can. And it's just a rubbish way to live. And so I'm going to give you another example. Okay. So, so many people want to become a millionaire. So let's just use this as an example. Okay. Because the problem is, when it comes to money, is that we often say that we can't feel a certain way until we have it. So in the examples that I've given you about the holidays and things like that, it's because we want them. It's because we want to feel a certain way. We want to feel free. We want to feel happy. We want to feel joyful. We want to feel adventurous. We want to feel fun. We want to feel, we want to feel good. Everything we're doing is because of the feeling that we think it's going to give us. So we can have this misconception that money is going to give us those feelings. When I'm absolutely loaded, I'm not going to have a care in the world. I'm going to be free. Like, birds are going to be singing around my bedroom window, coming in and, circling around my head and dancing with me in the window, because everything's going to be so amazing. Well, it's just not true. Life's going to be exactly the same. It's just you're going to have more stuff. You're going to have different experiences, but how you feel is still going to be an inside job. If you are still letting outside circumstances dictate how you feel, then it's going to be no different, because there'll be another problem. There'll be something else that you're unhappy with that is making you feel a certain way, or so you tell yourself. So if we start questioning what we want, okay, so why do we want this money? Then we can drill down to the feeling that we think it's going to give us. And we want to take that power away from it, because we can feel that feeling anytime we want. Feelings are an inside job. Emotions, our emotional state, is all created from inside. It's created from our thoughts. It's created from basically whatever we're focused on. And it's just a choice. It really is a choice. And we can choose to get in the habit of feeling good, of feeling happy. Happiness is a habit. And maybe it takes some conscious effort to get there, but it can become a habit, just like dissatisfaction, frustration, impatience became a habit. They're just habits. They're just fixed in the subconscious mind, and they're just things that you do automatically. If this resonates with you, things you do automatically without even thinking. You get triggered by things, activated by things. So we want to be able to regulate our thinking and make happiness the habit. How amazing would life feel on a day-to-day basis? So getting back, I veer off. Getting back to this, so start questioning what you want. So say, for example, you want to be a millionaire. Why do you want to be a millionaire? And really drill down on the answers as well, because the first answer is not going to be the real answer. So, for example, I want to buy a luxury home in 10 acres of land. Why do you want the thing that you've said that you want? Because I'll have so much more space for myself, my family, we'll be living in luxury. We'll be able to invite more people over. We'll be able to have people stay. I'll have a beautiful view. I want to live in an amazing place. I want my children to experience that. I want my surroundings to be amazing. I don't want any limits. Great. So you've listed all the reasons, all the things. And why do you want those things? Because there's still a core underlying reason here, and it's going to be tied with how you think it's going to make you feel. It's because I want to feel proud. I want to feel successful. I want to feel accomplished. I want to feel happy. I want to feel at peace. I want to feel abundant. I want to feel limitless. So you see how we're tying all of those things, all of those feelings to, I need to become a millionaire to get there. That's what becoming a millionaire will give me. Okay. But you need to learn to give that to yourself before you get there, because so many people have become so rich and wealthy, and they've been miserable, and they've been cut off from the world, and they have never found happiness, and they've died bitter and lonely, but very wealthy. Now, why is that? Because they never learned to find the happiness inside. They never learned to cultivate the feelings they wanted to feel from the inside, and it's an inside job. So we don't want to wait until money before we feel this way, okay? It's an inside job. And if you can't feel this way now, you're not going to be able to attract the money, because if you are feeling very, very different to the feelings you're anticipating feeling when the money comes, then you're not a vibrational match. You're too far out. You need to raise yourself, your frequency, your energy, and your consciousness. You need to be thinking, feeling, and acting on a level that equals how you want to feel. So you want to be walking around in your day feeling free and calm and relaxed. You don't want to be walking around your day feeling stressed, overwhelmed, burnt out, and like you have to do every single thing before you're ever going to be successful. So we need to create it from the inside so that we become a match for what it is that we want. And we just don't want to be living a conditional life. We don't want to be conditional, because if we're conditional on outside circumstances to make us happy, or we allow ourselves to get triggered because of things outside of us, then we're never in control of how we feel. We're like a yo-yo, up and down all day, every day. Now, what does that do to our energy? It means our energy is scattered. It means we're going backward and forward with what we want all the time, to being miserable, to what we want, to being frustrated, to what we want, to being overwhelmed. And the universe is trying to respond to what we're saying, but we're not giving it a clear message. We're not giving it a dominant vibration. We're just all over the shop. So then we'll get all over the shop results. We'll get all sorts of things coming our way, because it just doesn't know what to give us. It doesn't know what we want, and it's just responding to whatever we're putting out. So, and we want to be able to move through, especially with relationships and things like that, and kids and all sorts of things like that. We don't want to be flying off the handle just because someone says something we don't like. We want to be able to maintain an inner peace and an inner calm, that we're good, right? That we don't have to fly off the handle, that we don't have to let those things mean something to us, because we only fly off the handle because we're telling ourselves a story about what they've just done or said. we're telling ourselves that that must mean that, and that's why we get annoyed. But what if we didn't tell ourselves that? What if we just cared about how we felt every single day, and we didn't care about being right, and we let go of our ego, and we didn't need to be right anymore? How would we feel then on a day-to-day basis? Then we've got control of our vibration, and then we can focus on becoming a match to the money, the abundance, the success and happiness that we want in our lives. Okay. So this was something that I was always guilty of. Like I told you, I spent quite a few years just sacrificing everything to try and create this thing in my life. But all I was doing was holding myself back from happiness, holding myself back from attracting it in even quicker, because I was pulling myself away from being the match I needed to be. So, and why would I want to wait all those years to feel accomplished and successful? Because the chances are, if you're waiting till you hit a certain level, then even when you get there, you're still not going to feel it. You're going to tell yourself you have to wait till you get to the next level before you feel it, because now it doesn't really mean it. It's not quite the same. Maybe this was a fluke. It doesn't really count because you don't feel any different. When you don't feel any different because you haven't cultivated that feeling inside of you, it's not good. The thing can't give it to you. You have to give it to yourself. So why not start now? Why not start looking for areas in your life where you are successful, where you feel successful, and really home in on that and focus in on that, because what you focus on expands. Why don't you look in the areas of your life where you already feel accomplished, where you've done amazing things? You don't have to wait until you manifest huge amounts of money before you feel that and you see that value in you. And remember, your internal value is going to be reflected by the external money that you bring into you. So build up that internal wealth. See it. See that it's there. So yeah, so that was mainly the thing. The other thing is, if we're then telling ourselves that we've got to hit a certain level before we feel this thing, then of course when we don't hit it, or it's taking ages, we're telling ourselves that we're not successful, we're not accomplished, we must just be a failure. We start telling ourselves all these other stories about what it must mean, and we end up making ourselves feel really bad. And what does that do to our vibration, our thoughts and our actions? Well, we're certainly not going to act like the successful person that creates the business that we want, that brings everything in that we want. We're going to pull back. We're going to procrastinate. We're going to feel overwhelmed because now we don't feel good enough to do it. And now we feel like a failure and it's never going to work for us. So it's just so important that we just let go of tying anything to this goal. Like, we have the goal, it's brilliant, it's amazing, it gives us a direction to reach for, it gives us somewhere to go, it gives us somewhere to move towards, and it's going to be amazing when we have it. But it doesn't mean anything on us. It doesn't mean that I'm a certain person if I do or if I don't get it. I am a certain person because that's who I am, and I choose what to see in myself, and that's what we want to be doing. Okay. And the last thing is, we only ever have now. We only ever have the present moment. There is no future. There's no past. They don't exist. And when we were there at these moments that we think about, we still only ever had now. We still only ever had right now, this very moment. So it's right now, this moment, that you want to be making the most of. So how do you choose to feel right now in this moment? Do you want to feel like a failure? Do you want to feel like everything's hard? Do you want to feel like nothing you do is ever going to work? Or do you want to feel like you're a success because now you can see where you are a success? And if you can see success in you, you can stretch it out to other areas, parts of your life and other parts of you. Do you want to see the value that you've got in you and look at those qualities that make you amazing? And look at that today. You don't need to get somewhere to see them. They're already in you. You already are them. You've already got this amazing essence within you. And when you see it, that's when the magic's going to happen. When you can see it yourself, when you see your value, when you see your worth. So start looking now and acknowledging you for what you are. So we're not going to give our money to power, or we're not going to give our power to money. We're not going to let outside situations and events and circumstances dictate how we are going to feel. We want to feel damn good. And for the next 21 days, or what's left, 18, whatever it is, we want to feel abundant. We want to feel happy. We want to feel joyful. We want to feel excited. We want to feel expectant. We want to feel like everything's working out for us. We want to feel like our success is inevitable. And we're not going to tie that to an outcome, because the outcome will happen if we hold our vision. We will hit that goal. We will allow that in. But it doesn't matter when it is, because the timing isn't always down to us. The timing is divine timing, and it's going to happen when it's right for us. And we don't get to choose that. So we just got to be okay with it. and know that it's coming. And while we're waiting, and we don't want to say waiting because we'll just carry on waiting if that's the feeling that we've got. While we're here in this present moment, we're going to bloody enjoy it. And we're going to make the most of every single day that we've got. And we're just going to enjoy life and have fun. And that's when it comes. That's when everything you want comes, because the resistance is gone. You've just broken down the big walls all around you that's just been stopping everything from coming in. You've broken them down and you've just gone, life is good. I'm good. I am good. And I see my value. And I choose to feel good every single day because that's what I want. And then watch it fly in. So there's some tasks for you, 8 tasks, there's some questions for you to do. So they will be in either underneath this video, I think they'll be in a separate post. So just go through the journal prompts, journal on it. Obviously, you've got the guide, it'll be in your guide. And I just want you to start thinking about how are you giving your money, how are you giving your power to money? What do you believe that money is going to get you? Like, remember, it's just an exchange. It's just an exchange of value. It's just energy. It's not a thing. It's not this big, powerful thing that we think it is. It's just a tool. And what are you waiting to feel until you have it, or until you have it in your bank? And how much is your emotional state affected by your bank account? Because equally, we don't want, if your bank account is nowhere near what you want it to be, and it's a worry and it's a concern, do not make that about you. That is a result of past thinking. That is a result, that is a record of the past. You create today, and now you're shifting your mindset, you're shifting your feeling, you're shifting your vibration. You are creating a different tomorrow. It's just got to catch up with you. So don't let any of that mean anything on the negative either. Do not let it mean anything about you, because today's a new day and now you're going to attract something different. Okay. So I'm so excited. We're going to have another day working on beliefs and things tomorrow. And then we're going to start rewriting our whole money story. And we're going to start getting really, really, really excited now that we can break through all the crap, break through all the limits in our minds. This is what this is all about. We're just getting rid of all the stuff that doesn't serve us, all the noise that's holding us back. We're breaking down all of that now in these first few days. And then we're just going to let everything come in and we're going to get excited. So share with us in the group what your aha was, what you've realized, how you can move forward, whatever it is you want to share, come and share with us. We'd love to support you and we want to hear from you. So I hope this was good. Good luck with the questions and I will see you again tomorrow.